I'm Daniel.
I'm Jay-Z.
This is Just My DIY.
When we unboxed and unveiled the StarCraft 8-in-1 Swing Away Heat Press, we told you we'd do a video on each of the attachments.
This video is going to feature the 4 power cuffs. When equipped like so, you change your name to Dandroid.
This video is focusing on the Mug Press, which includes 4 of the 8 attachments.
We're going to explore their strengths and weaknesses so you know how to defeat them if you should encounter them.
Translation: we spent the last couple of weeks getting to know these attachments, where some of their quirks might be, and we're going to give you all of our tips and tricks for sublimating in them using a regular mug, as well as doing a 360 sublimation on a ceramic travel mug.
So let the Dandroid get to work.
We're going to start off with a quick overview. The Mug Press comes with 4 attachments, a large and small for your regular straight-sided mugs, as well as a large and small taper attachment.
In order to switch them out, we're just simply going to remove the 4 peg bolts, slide out the one you don't want, slide in the one you do want, and replace those little bolts. While doing this, do keep this unplugged. There's no need for it to turn on while you're handling it. And while in operation, we disconnect the main heat unit and plug in when we have our attachment set up, the Mug Press.
Now, you can turn it on, obviously, with the switch on the side, and then use the set button to go through the various options to set your time and temperature. But we do want to spend a couple of seconds here talking about the timer. The timer is triggered by the handle on the main press. Here you can see handle went down, timer is going. That is because the timer trigger, the little magnetic thing that sets the timer off, is on the main handle for this. So that means that when you close your mug press, it does not trigger the timer. So you can either put the handle down right after you close the mug press, or you can just set a separate timer, which is what we did.
Now we're going to go ahead and set the tension for the handle closing so that the mug is secure, with the idea that you're going to be adding 3 layers of paper onto it as well. So we tighten, test, and tighten, and test, and when it's satisfactory, we measure the inside so we know about minus a quarter inch from the edges is going to be the size of the design that we'll be using on it. Clean our mug, trying to touch it afterwards.
And then trim our design.
Make sure and place it within those margins previously mentioned, and adhere with heat-resistant tape.
We do put a piece at the bottom just because we're going to be sliding this in and out. We don't want our paper to move at all, because when sublimation paper moves, it causes ghosting. So be mindful of that. We do 2 layers of butcher paper and then also tape that on. We heated the mug press to 400 degrees, which was actually fairly quick. It doesn't take as long as the main heat press to heat up. And then we slide it in and clamp it down. We're going to give you some close-ups here to show you how you position the mug inside the press. As you can see, we're staying away from those edges. Again, about a 1/4 inch edge on each of these attachments doesn't get the full heat that you need to get a clean sublimation.
The ceramic of the mug absorbs quite a bit of heat, so you'll see your temperature drop, but don't worry, that's just part of the process.
We let that stay in there for about 4 minutes and then used a heat-resistant glove to remove it and sat it on a silicone mat to cool. You can see that the butcher paper discolored a little bit, but that's normal, totally okay.
When it finally cooled enough, we peeled everything, and voila!
This did a nice little sublimation on the mug.
It is still a little bit warm, but hey, we were excited.
Now we're going to show you the 360 degree sublimation. this particular mug has a lid that we take off as well as a plug in the bottom of it. So we make sure that we select the right attachment and then measure it. Again, measure your attachments, not your mugs, so you can determine the size of your designs.
We're just changing out the unit and size it. Now this is an interesting thing because the taper of the unit is different than the taper of the mug, so make sure you get contact all the way around.
And then again, clean, add your design, and 2 layers of butcher paper. Now, before we put this in the press, we are going to use a pencil, and we marked where the top and bottom of our design is. That's so we'll know how to position it once it's in the mug press. Slide it in, clamp it down, and then we use a pencil again to mark which part is not getting that direct heat and pressure. 2 minutes later, we turn it using a heat glove, of course. Turn it, make sure it's positioned properly, and clamp it back down. Let that sit for 1 more minute before we take it out.
Now we're going to go ahead and peel the butcher paper, peel our design paper. Again, this is probably warm because we do that. And the reveal. Now you'll find that there's a bit of residue left over from the sublimation paper, but that's easy enough to handle with a damp rag. Just wipe it right off.
No alcohol or anything, just regular old water will do. And here's how they turned out.
I have been defeated.
So it turns out they aren't power cuffs, so Dan Droid over here has been defeated. However, we hope that you succeeded in learning something in this video.
If you have, you should like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, and of course, everything you need to do this is listed down below.
All of our social handles are also listed in the description, as well as our blog, justmydiy.com. Thanks for watching.